Okay, good morning. Sorry if I cannot show you my face since my camera is broken, and I think everybody is here. So let's proceed to our meeting or a sort of interview. So, Group 1, I will conduct an interview about the considerations in choosing methods, strategies, and teaching techniques in teaching literature. So, as stated, there are six considerations, which are teacher centered versus student centered, teacher talk versus student talk, supplementing the printed page, variety, multiple intelligences, and higher order thinking skills or the HOTS. I believe that each one of you has assigned considerations since there are six of you. I will start with the teacher centered versus student centered. So tell me about teacher centered versus student centered and give examples if possible.
Teacher-centered versus student-centered. In teacher-centered, lecture and recitation are the conventional methods of teaching literature. The teacher is unquestionably the sage on the stage, the primary source of knowledge and information, as well as the ultimate authority and judge of what constitutes proper literary interpretation. Although the setup is simple for the teacher, particularly in timed classrooms, students may find the process boring, monotonous, and unchallenging. Some example of teacher-centered are: the teacher is helping students continuously practice and revise how they perform on one assessment form, and also the teacher is helping the students master the content. Student-centered. While studying literature, students in student-centered classrooms have many opportunities to explore, experiment, think deeply and creatively. Students usually have more confidence in expressing their ideas in the language and in believing in the relevance of those ideas when they are allowed thus much flexibility. The example of student-centered is: the students are given opportunities to lead learning activities, to participate more actively in conversations, develop their own learning projects, research topics that interest them, and contribute to the overall design of their own course.
Okay, great. Next is about the teacher talk versus student talk.
Teacher talk versus student talk. Teacher talk refers to both the language used by the teacher and the time of his or her discussion when presenting the lesson. The choice of methods, strategies, and techniques should consider giving students more opportunities to talk, share ideas with one another, work in group for brainstorming and project making, and others. Students must be encouraged to confront the text as openly as directly, question the author's purpose for writing, challenge his or her idea, compare the text with other texts, evaluate the text language and authenticity. These are activities that elicit engaged responses from students.
In literature class, what should be contemplated?
The literature class should be an environment where the students' minds are sharpened, reconstructed, deconstructed, and reshaped.
Okay, good. Now we will have the supplementing the printed page. We all know it is useful to support the chosen text when teaching literature. So tell me more about it.
Supplementing the printed page. When we say supplementing the printed page, it is something that is added to something else. There are also supplements. Supplements are collection of papers that deals with the related issues or topics. They publish a separate issue of the journal or as part of a regular issue, and they usually funded by sources other than the journal's publisher. The printed page. A printed page is a physical piece of paper on which something is written or printed. There are two examples of supplementing the printed page. First, we have Harry Potter. Harry Potter draws an attention with children and even adults. Harry Potter is not just a reading material, it also gives happiness or excitement to people. Second is Dante's Divine Comedy. This example is based on medieval Roman Catholic theology and philosophy. Consequently, the Divine Comedy has been called the Summa in verse.
Okay, very good. The succeeding one is the variety. Expand your knowledge about it.
So when we say variety, these are the differences or categories. We all know that we have diverse learners, from its background up to its learning styles. Learners are either visual, auditory, or kinesthetic. Some learners learn best from a visual stimulus. Some may learn best when the stimulus is something that is heard, while others yet learn best when their body is involved. For example, others may learn best when they see or read a literal printed page. Some may learn best when it includes face-to-face lecture, recorded lecture, or even podcasts. While to some, they learn through doing a turning point scene in a story or recreating a boat that was mentioned in the poem through origami. Without contemplating about it, there can be a possibility to have the presence of monotony.
Can you tell me about monotony?
Monotony is a lack of variety and interest. It is defined as something that never changes, boring, or it doesn't have excitement or active attention and participation. Monotony is one of the greatest enemies of learning. So the teacher, therefore, take the variety into consideration when choosing about the methods, materials, and even the design activities for them to engage all types of learners in teaching literature.
Okay, that was well explained. We will go now to multiple intelligences. Representative, what is multiple intelligences?
So now let's discuss about the multiple intelligence. What is multiple intelligences? The multiple intelligences is the teaching of literature can be integrated with the development of multiple intelligences. The method of choice learning task should be the top of the various of inclination, interest, expertise, awareness, sensitivity, knowledge, and consciousness of the students.
Can it be related to the theory of multiple intelligences? What is its purpose?
The theory of multiple intelligences purposes the differentiations of human intelligence into specific modalities of intelligence, rather than determining the intelligence as a single general ability. So here's the examples of multiple intelligences: the role play, the collaboration task, the picture puzzles, and the field trips. And that are the some examples of multiple intelligences.
Okay, that is great. And lastly, tell me about HOTS or higher order thinking skills. You are all familiar with this since you already encountered this during your first year college. So proceed.
High order thinking skills. This type of teaching will develop students' critical thinking. Questions for discussion should allow for students to reflect, inquire, interrogate, and formulate questions based on the text. One of the best examples for this is the Socratic method, which requires Socratic questioning. It's like a child that keeps on asking questions on everything that you say to them. Drink your milk. Why? Go to bed. Why? This type of questioning is an open-ended question. What is open-ended question? These are type of questions that cannot be answered by yes or no. There should be a long explanation to this question. So after your discussion, instead of asking, do you understand the lesson? Create or formulate questions more that starts with what, how, or why, which is the common open-ended question. Or let the students formulate or create questions that will challenge them to think more. So you can have a cooperative argumentative dialogue on the topic.
Okay, that's it, everyone. That concluded our interview for today. Thank you so much.